Welcome back, Cheesy Minions, to hopefully another good one here in the NGDL. And this is week 7, and this is against Use's Quilava Blue Grenats. And this is, like I said last week, was when my schedule is going to be picking up, as in it's going to get harder. And this is definitely going to be a rough one because, well, he is actually the leader of the red division right now. That is the other division in our same conference. So I have a unique ability to not only keep control of my division, but if I win this game, I'll be first in the conference right now, which will be huge. Yeah, he's a really quality challenger, obviously. In fact, I'm 0-2 against Use all time in the NGDL. He's beaten me, I believe, in both previous NGDLs. He is 4-2 coming into this matchup. I am 5-1. Both of us are leading our divisions. Obviously, he doesn't want to fall to 4-3 because he has two division rivals that are sitting at 3-3 in his division. Meanwhile, I still have President Tim on my tail, as the Charlotte Beedrills, who I lost to previously, are 4-2. Now, I did make a transaction this week. The importance of this game spurred me to make a change, and this actually drops me to 0 dead money, so I'm going to have to actually downgrade in tier if I want to make another transaction after this. But I decided to pick up Hariyama, dropping Cryogonal. Yeah, I feel like I really need to look at his team to explain why I'm doing this. And the main reason is a Pokemon that Use drafted pretty late in the draft, and that's Cloyster. Because Cloyster can absolutely destroy my team. In fact, the only Pokemon that's even remotely capable of taking a hit at +2 from Cloyster is like Vaporeon, and I type Null on my team currently. I really needed something that could take a hit from this thing, and Hariyama definitely fits the bill because of its thick, fat ability and the ability to run Assault Vest as well. Well, obviously, everything can run Assault Vest, but it can run it very well. It is slow, and it does hurt to give up Cryogonal, who's kind of actually my fastest Pokemon I had, other than Mega Beedrill. And you might even recall that previously, before I had Cryogonal, I actually had Passimian in that slot, and I didn't really want another fighting type, but I feel like, Hariyama, being more of a bulky Pokemon and good access of abilities, he'll definitely do some things that kommo-o can't, that'll justify using him in certain teams. Plus, I'm just really afraid of that Cloyster. There was a lot of Pokemon that, already were on rosters that could help me. But going through the list and trying to make a transaction, try to better my matchup against Cloyster, made me really think, okay, Hariyama is definitely the Pokemon I have to choose. And it can actually take hits very well. Now, looking at Use's team, one thing you might actually notice is I actually have the speed advantage this week. Despite the fact that I got a little slower after my transaction. Use has one of the bulkiest and slowest drafts out there. In fact, aside from Mega Charizard and his Lycanroc, no one is base 100 or more. That shares a trait with me, but a lot of his Pokemon are as low as base 60, base 40, which you may, start thinking that maybe, Trick Room might be an option. I'm kind of afraid of that. Unfortunately, his only Trick Room setter is Gallade, so I'm not 100% sure we're going to see it. Yeah, it's in the back of my mind that this could be a possibility, and I'm looking at, things like Delmise could be a threat, but, I'm going to focus on his main threats in my team building. That's going to be Cloyster and Charizard, of which he could use Y or X, and Sylveon. He's been actually favoring a Choice Spec Sylveon from what I've seen. And obviously, I'm going to go ahead and bring Soundproof kommo-o as well, so both fighting types are actually going to be in on this match. And while I think that Use is good enough that he's going to probably adjust and use Moonblast instead this week, we'll see. Because if he does, bring the specs and he does lock himself in a Hyper Voice, then, I'll be able to get that safe switch into kommo-o and get a Dragon Dance off and things like that. So, yeah, that's my team building. Let's go ahead and start the match. Obviously, I have not played it yet. I always do these recordings prior to the match, so yeah, hopefully things go well for me, and I will see you guys on the flip side. So yeah, there's the teams, and as you can see, he is bringing the feared Cloyster and the Charizard. I'm really fearing Charizard X, because Charizard X +1 can kind of destroy all the team that I brought. For once, I'm not bringing Sticky Webs. I'm bringing both of my fighting type users. As you can see, I'm not bringing Sticky Webs. Might end up backfiring. We're going to go ahead and find out. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with Mega B. I didn't see his Lycanroc, so I feel comfortable leading with B, knowing that there's not a whole lot he can do against it. So he's going to get low and lead with Sylveon, and I was so tempted to go for the Poison Jab here, but I'm like, He's not going to stay in. Even at max defense, he can't take a poison jab. Max defense, max HP, he's not going to take a poison jab. So I just go for the U-turn. But he does stay in, so there you go. And I'm like, I guess I'm just going to go into Heatran. Heatran can take pretty much anything except for a Hidden Power Ground from this guy, so... yeah, I ended up actually bringing the Kason Berry on my Heatran as a potential out to Cloyster. Kason Berry being the Water Resist Berry, but obviously it doesn't really matter because he's going to go into Charizard, and I had to set up Stealth Rock, so it's a good switch there, getting his Charizard before I'm able to set up the Rocks. And I do have Hidden Power Rock, and I'm just going to go for it. If he doesn't have the Charizard X, you know, I don't want to get this thing a free Dragon Dance, but it ends up being Charizard Y, and I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I am so happy to see the Charizard Y instead, because I just go for the Hidden Power Rock, which is X4 effective against Charizard X. Unfortunately, he goes for the sub, so he's not going to die to this here Hidden Power Rock, but it is going to break that sub, and I'm just going to keep going for it, being that this thing is out, and I'm just going to keep going for it. And he has Hidden Power as well, and he has Hidden Power Ground. My Heatran does survive with 21 HP, though, and I'm going to be able to take out the Charizard. So one of his biggest Pokemon, his first draft pick, and probably the highlight of his team, already down is Charizard Y, and I am more than happy about that. So anyway, in comes Gallade now, and I really actually could have switched out here to try to preserve Heatran, because I do have Vaporeon, obviously as a Wish Passer, so I could have maybe wished this thing, but I decided to stay and see what he would do. He goes for the Zen Headbutt. It does kill me despite the resistance. I'm thinking this thing might be Scarfed right now, but it's okay because I have my Scarf Lele as well, so I'm just going to go into it, and I decide to play it safe and just go for the Moonblast. And he ends up not going into Empoleon, which is what I was fearing. He goes out into this thing, his Delmise, and I go for the Moonblast, and it does about half, but it's like, that's so close. It's like, that could be like max damage. I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to lose my Tapu Lele, so I decided to switch out into my kommo-o, as he actually goes for the Rapid Spin. So he's just Rapid Spinning for his Cloyster, who obviously does not want to take 25% on switch in, breaking a potential Sash. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, I think I just go for the Dragon Dance here, knowing that he can't damage me enough to matter. So I'm just gonna go for that Dragon Dance to get the +1. He goes into Empoleon, which is great, because unless he has the Fighting Resist Berry, I know that Close Combat can KO this guy, so I just go for it, and indeed it does take down the Empoleon, so I'm in a very, very nice position right now. I believe he is down to 3 Pokemon to 1, so in comes Sylveon, and I'm going to just go ahead and show the tech I brought this week. No, sorry, he's 4 Pokemon to 5, I lied. But I do have the Acid Downpour, which at +1, actually at +0, should be able to kill Sylveon. But I am at +1, so this should definitely kill the Sylveon, as I just downpour this thing with acid, all of the muck and grime from the poison jab. Unfortunately, he lives, and I'm like, wait, what? How does this thing live? He has the Kebia Berry, and he goes with the Psyshock in the Psychic Terrain against my -1 defense kommo-o, but I live with 2 HP. We actually count it. This is actually close to max damage because of kommo-o's amazing defense stat at 125, and now I'm able to get rid of the Sylveon. So that epic 2 HP survived by kommo-o. Now I am up to 5 Pokemon to 3. In comes Gallade, and that means I'm going to get a hit on this thing. I didn't bring a Dragon move this time, so my strongest move against this thing is the resisted Close Combat. I just go for it for as much damage as I can, as it just goes for a Zen Headbutt to kill me. So, yeah, down goes my kommo-o, but kommo-o had a really nice mid-game sweep there. Now the last Pokemon I have to worry about is Cloyster. So I'm just going to go into Tapu Lele, go for the Psychic. If he goes, this is going to kill this thing. It's going to kill Delmise if he goes into it. And Cloyster should hit it down to its Focus Sash. But I do have Hariyama and Vaporeon, 2 Pokemon I know should be able to take a hit from a +2 Cloyster. But I'm going to go ahead and take that guy out. And yeah, in comes Cloyster, and we're going to go ahead and see what happens. I go for that Psychic, expecting to hit it down to its Focus Sash, and it dies! No Focus Sash on the Cloyster. He was going for Normalium Z, aka Z Explosion, to try to take down my Vaporeon, he said. But that means Lele is going to be able to just wrap it up, and holy god, I did not expect the game to go this way. You know, I transacted for Hariyama because of its positive matchup this week. I didn't even bring it out. Vaporeon didn't get a shot out, so just a kommo-o and Tapu Lele running wild in this game. Whew, it feels good to win, though. I mean, I would have liked to see my transaction do something, but no, it feels really good to win. gutsy call by him going for Normalium Z Cloyster. I guess expecting Cloyster to be able to take a hit, but not from a modest Tapu Lele using Psychic in the Psychic terrain, I'm afraid. And just going to be able to take out that Cloyster. Now, if he did get, a +2 off, their Normalium Z could have finished off probably one of Hariyama or Vaporeon. I think of Vaporeon, but one of the other one would survive. So I still felt pretty good about that positioning, even if it didn't kill, or if he was sashed. I mean, obviously, if he wasn't Normalium Z, they can definitely take a hit. Both of them take a hit from any move that Cloyster does. So I felt pretty good about that at the end anyway, but I was not expecting Normalium Z, but good game use. He's a lot better than this match seems to suggest. He's actually one of the best battlers in the NGDL. We just caught him at a bad time. He's actually said he was sick all week, so I don't know how much he was able to prep for this game. I mean, he obviously prepped a little bit, but because he had some interesting stuff. But I feel better, man. I feel better. Anyway, next week is actually a bye week for the NGDL, so you will not see an NGDL battle next week. I will try to pre-record some battles for you that I have saved for next week, so you might get some posts around the Christmas week. But yeah, my next opponent the next week, which is the week after, is going to be Untraceable Strains Detroit Sky Attacks, and he's yet another person in the NGDL that I have not actually. I'm winless against in the NGDL. But we broke the curse here against Zeus. So now we are 1-2 all time against Zeus in the NGDL. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to take on Untraceable Strain next week. But like I said, a rough stretch of games coming up. But it's nice to get that rough stretch with actually a pretty dominant win. One other thing I wanted to mention at Zeus team, I don't think I mentioned it, is actually his team is all he has like a. I guess not monocolor, but a dual color team. All his Pokemon are red and blue, so that's pretty cool. Also, check him out. He's an amazing YouTuber. Go ahead and check out his channel. Link in the description, as always. And today's question of the day is going to be, what do you want for Christmas this year? It's like Christmas is next week. In fact, it's less than a week away at this point. It's Tuesday, so yeah. What do you want for Christmas? As for me, a nap would be nice. I don't know. It's weird. Christmas I'm kind of a hard person to buy for because I have most of the things I want, and if I don't have it, it's because it's expensive. Yeah. So I don't really know. I know no one's gonna buy it for me, but I guess a Switch would be nice to play. Get that out of the way before I need to get it for Pokemon 2019. Still not playing Pokemon Let's Go, by the way, so stop asking. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you guys again next time, my cheesy minions. Hopefully, the Dolphiones will be able to, after going this week 6-1, we'll be able to go 7-1. Hopefully next week against Untraceable Strain. So thanks for watching, and yeah, you guys rock. Later.